Hey everyone, welcome to my weekly analysis. This is Kelly. If you don't know, now you know. I'm going to be getting into my weekly analysis, and I really hope that this doesn't go any time past 10 minutes, to be honest. I already looked at some of my pairs and marked it up, like pre-marked it up, and I'm just going to be sharing what I marked up for this week. So I'm going to be starting off with the dollar index. What I have right now, and for each of these pairs for my weekly analysis, just to reiterate, I just go through the pairs that I normally trade, and I'm going to be looking at them on the daily. So I'm going to be starting out with the dollar, and just to see, since I trade things like GBPUSD and EURUSD, I like to start out the week looking at the dollar to see what I think the dollar is going to do for that week. And the dollar is still, it's looking like it's still pretty bearish, and I don't project that changing anytime soon, to be honest. It's right now at this previous level of support, and if it does go up, I do think that it would go up to this 93.89 level and then proceed to go down, especially since going into next week, I'm pretty sure it's next week. Going into next week is US elections, and I know that from the past, anytime when there are US elections, then the dollar does tend to go down for the next 12 to 18 months. So that's what I'm projecting for the dollar from this week into next week. I think that it's going to go up, retrace a little bit before it's going back down. So what that's going to mean for my pairs, my GBPUSD and EURUSD pairs, that means that, and Brexit aside for GBPUSD, that would mean that those pairs, I would be projecting those pairs to go up. So I'm going to just go into GBPUSD and look at that really quick. And like I said, I have these pre-marked up so that I could go through this pretty quickly. So what I have for GBPUSD, how long have I been trading? Elena. Hi, Elena. I've been trading for, what's it been now? 5-6 months. It's been just since May, actually. So that's, not that long. Like, I've been looking at trading since the beginning of this year, and actually since like 2018, but I didn't start really taking it serious until this year in May. That's when I really started taking it serious. What about all the COVID in Europe right now? Won't that make GU and EU go down? I do think that that's a huge factor, but given their trends, I really just don't. For me personally, I don't know if it'll have enough of an effect for it to outweigh the amount of what's the word I'm looking for? The amount of the effect that the dollar would have on it. And I could, I could be wrong, of course. I could be wrong. But what I'm thinking is that I don't think that it'll outweigh the way the dollar's performing for those, at least. So like for the dollar index, for EURUSD, I said that I was going to do GBPUSD first, but I'm going to just look at EURUSD really quick since I'm already on it. Like I said, since I'm expecting the dollar index to retrace to the upside a bit, I do think EURUSD is going to go down for this week. I do think it's going to go down for this week until it hits this level of support that I have here in this trend, this upward trend. And I'll back out a bit so you can kind of see it. So I have this this trend marked up for how I think that the euro dollar will perform based on what it's done over the past couple of weeks. So for the euro dollar, I'm going to be looking for, I'm definitely going to be looking to get into sales this week. Going to be looking to short the euro US. What am I saying? I'm so tired. I'm so sorry. I'm going to be looking to short euro USD this week. Definitely. Down to at least to 1.1770. Yeah, about where the body that this daily candle closed on back on October 20th. Gonna be looking to short it down to that level at the very least. So that's why I have a short position and a long position on here, because once it hits that level of support, then I'm projecting that it will go up to where I have this level of resistance at 19. I'll just even it out, 1910, 1.1910. So that's what I have for Euro USD. I'm gonna go to GBPUSD now. And it's kind of the same thing for GBPUSD. That's why I like GBPUSD and Euro USD, because they move kind of similarly. So I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye out for both of these pairs this week. But actually looking at it really quick before I say that, what I have marked up here is this upward trend. But where price is at right now is where I have a previously respected level of support or resistance. And that's just based on the past. And that was based on this level that it was at in September. And as you can see, like, I can definitely update that, but it was respected as support in the past, like in August. And then treated again as a resistance in September. So it's at that level right now. But what I'm looking for, and I noted it here, let me zoom onto the 4 hour. So I did mark this up on the daily, but I'm just zooming into the 4 hour. So I think that GBPUSD is gonna sell for like another 50 pips. It's already, let me see, from the time that I marked it up to where it is now, 15, 16 pips. It had gone down about 29 pips since I had marked it. Mind you, I hadn't entered this in because this isn't the position that I'm ultimately looking to get into. So I hadn't entered in for this sell because I just don't think that, looking at this, I just didn't think that a sell for 50, was this like 50 or so pips down to this support level that I have here, I didn't think that getting into a sell for 50 pips was necessarily worth it for me. Now that could be worth it for somebody else. Just it's not the ultimate position that I'm looking for here for GBPUSD. So I do have it marked up here for this short. That's a really quick short. But what I'm looking for is an engulfing right here when it gets to this support level. I'm looking for a bullish engulfing for it to tell me that it's going back to the upside, so I can enter in for a long position. And my long position, let me turn auto back on, actually off, so I can move it. My long position, what I have here is, see how many pips that is. Yeah, like 200, 230 something pips. That's the big move that I'm looking for when it comes to GBPUSD. That's the buy I want. Now, mind you, I'm gonna be looking out for what it's doing between now and Tuesday, and see where it's at Wednesday, because I'm expecting that bullish engulfing, or even something like a morning star down here, a morning star sometime before Thursday. And it could happen into next week, but I'm looking for it to happen before Thursday, especially based on how the candles are moving. So that's it for GBPUSD. Mind you, I zoomed into the 4 hour, so I'm gonna switch back to the daily real quick. Let me turn auto back on so it's not weird looking. Yeah. So let me go to GBPJPY, my bad. I'm gonna zoom out on this one. So GBPJPY, I have marked up an M here. I'm gonna move the line so it can be seen more clearly real quick. And I know I have a lot of yellow trend lines on here. I'm removing these last two though. Okay, so back in September, it broke out of the trend that it was previously in since March. It was in an upward trend. It broke out. You know, it had its 1, 2, 3 taps on this upward trend resistance line, support line. It broke out to the downside. And this is a new trend that I have marked up. But what I see here, it's not necessarily a trend, if you notice. Like, this was just something I had noticed when I looked back at it, as I was going through my pairs, like re-looking at them. But this right here, you can see an M forming, or a double tops. So what I would be looking for right here is where you see this yellow trend line. This yellow is not necessarily a trend line, just a yellow line that I have marked up for where I think that price is gonna go. I think that price is gonna complete this M and go to the downside, and I think that it will push down to where it was back in September, like the end of September, at this 133.50 level. Yeah, around that level. So that's 283 pips down. So what I'm going to be looking for this week into next week for GBPJPY is short positions. I'm going to be looking for short positions. I'm going to be looking to short GBPJPY because I see this M here. And I don't think that I'll enter until it breaks basically like the neckline for this double top. Like 1, 2. I'm going to be looking to enter when it goes to 135.80. It's currently at 136.38, so that's about 70 pips away. I will be missing out on 70 pips, but it's better than me chasing the trade. Like, I hate chasing the market. I don't like to chase the market. I want to make sure that it's doing what I think it's doing before I get into a trade, because you definitely don't want to get played. Definitely don't want to get played, because it could easily, instead of following where I have this yellow line marked, it could definitely bounce off of like this level right here. I have so many lines on here, I'm sorry. But it can bounce off of this line right here where it is that 70 pips away and then proceed to go upward. But again, it's just paying attention to the market and being patient and waiting for trades. Like don't chase a trade. Well, I mean, everybody can do whatever they want to do, but I'm not going to chase a trade. So that's what I'm projecting for GBPJPY. I'm going to be looking for these sell opportunities. So next I have Swiss JPY. Now for Swiss JPY, I think I marked it up on the 4 hour. Yeah, I marked it up on the 4 hour. So I have it in an upward trend. You see my resistance at the top. You see my support at the bottom. Has a few taps here, about three taps there, 3 taps up top. But since it bounced off of where I have this support, and it did that like last week. Created, if I zoom in here, you can see this morning star right here on October 22nd. That's when it created a morning star. So easily after that, I could have been looking for buy opportunities. I wasn't looking at Swiss JPY last week, but yeah, I could have been looking for buy opportunities. So what I see Swiss JPY doing is proceeding to go upward. So I have it marked up here. Let me see here. You can see like it's definitely doing some retracing for my trade idea. And I still haven't entered this in yet. I haven't entered any of these in yet. Around, it's 4 right now, 4 Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be looking to, get into a few trades around 5 and, put them in my journal, make sure I have at least a couple confluences before I enter any pairs. But, yeah, this is just my overall analysis for what I see these pairs doing for the week. So yeah, Swiss JPY, I definitely think is going to continue to the upside after it bounced off of this support level. Let's go to USD Swiss franc. USD Swizzy. Right here, you can see a double bottom. So USD Swiss franc, I think it's gonna go up, which kind of aligns with the dollar. Let me go to the dollar real quick. You can actually see how USD Swiss franc and the dollar basically look just alike. Like I click from one to the other, they don't look too different. Like you see a W right here for the dollar, just like you see a W forming for USD Swiss franc. So yeah, I think the same as what I thought for the dollar. I think that USD Swiss franc is going to retrace to the upside for a bit before ultimately going down again into next week. Next week is going to be crazy. Election week is going to be crazy. Yeah, so I'm going to be looking out for buy opportunities for USD Swiss franc for this week and then sell opportunities next week. On to USD CAD. USD CAD, same thing. And it's kind of breaking that neckline for that double bottom right now for USD CAD. That would have been cool to enter before. I don't normally trade USD CAD. I kind of just watch it, especially since I feel like it's just yet another pair that moves like the dollar. So I just keep an eye on it. But it is forming that W. So I think it's gonna retrace to the upside for a bit before going down again. Or, I mean, this is a, let me look at the daily before I say this. Yep, not necessarily. Okay, because what I was gonna say was for this, I was gonna say, look, it is creating higher highs and higher lows, but on the daily, it's kind of at that same level. Like, you see where the body's closed here, that's still where the wicks are going down to on this other side of the W that I see right here, if that makes sense. I'm gonna look at Euro NZD real quick. This has to be the cleanest trade that I had in October, honestly. Like, it was too clean. Caught Euro NZD at the top, sold it all the way down to the bottom. So what I think, once it gets to this support level in this upward trend that I have for Euro NZD, is I think it's gonna buy again. So I'm gonna be looking at buy opportunities around the end of the week, but you never know. That's just what I'm gonna be looking for. Check on USD Mexican real quick. USD Mexican hit a level of support down here at the bottom. It's going up. I don't think I'm going to be trading US dollar Mexican peso this week, though. And just for kicks, look at Ripple. Yeah, I'm not really interested in this either for this week, honestly. So that's it for what I'm looking at for this week. As far as didn't mean to click that. As far as what I'm gonna be trading, I'm gonna be trading my regular pairs, plus, what was it? Yeah, my regular pairs plus switch JPY, honestly. And I am marking up the indices. This is on the 4-hour, and it did enter into this sell. I did mark this up last Friday, though. I believe I marked this up last Friday, because this does show what happened with a trade that I did have. I had a very tight stop since I caught it at the top. So I saw this doji here, and what was it? And this huge bearish engulfing. So I was gonna be selling SPX 500 all the way down, just like it's doing right now. I was gonna be selling it all the way down, but the problem is it created this this wick on this bullish body that it has right here. I mean, this bullish candlestick that it has right here. It created this wick, and I got stopped out. So I could have entered in again, but again, like I said, like, I really don't like to chase the market, even though this did exactly what I thought it was gonna do for SPX 500. I had already gotten stopped out for my trade, so I don't re-enter that trade that same day if I already got stopped out for a trade. Sometimes if I'm looking for it, then maybe, but honestly, when it comes to my trades, I don't like to watch them too hard. I kind of like to, I do my analysis. I trust my analysis. I set up my take profit and my stop loss and let that be that. So it's just like, this would have been mad cool to make money off of. That would have been opening up the market today with 265 pips. I could use that. I could definitely use that. But no love lost. Markets will always be here. I'll look at NAS a different time. US 30. I haven't been looking at US 30 too much. I've just been looking at NAS 100 and SPX 500 for the past couple days. So that's what I'm gonna keep consistent to until there's a certain amount that I want to get to before I start seriously looking at US 30, because what I've been doing in the past was scalping US 30, but it's just like there's less risk if you scalp NAS 100 or SPX 500. So why not just do those? It's all money. So I am going to be, I'm not going to be scalping US 30 for just some time, honestly, unless I see like a super clean setup, which is, I don't know. I want to be disciplined and stick to NAS 100 and SPX 500 and just leave US 30 alone for a little bit. But that's just me. But anyways, if nobody has any questions, I'm gonna hop off this live, and I will be uploading it to YouTube, so you could check it out on YouTube or anything like that. It's definitely gonna be on my IG page, so it's just gonna be here. And at the end of the week, I do like to look at what I projected and see what did and didn't play out, and kind of review what happened and why. Especially if it didn't go the way I projected, I like to re-look at everything and really understand why, because I don't see trading as like a win-lose kind of thing. I look at it like it's winning all around if you get money or if you learn. That's it. Those are the only two things that you can get from trading the market, for real. But have a good trading week, everyone. Thank you for joining my live.